Yeah.
It's hard when it's this late in the year. Like it's just
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Oh, they mispriced a Grogu figure on Amazon.
Mm.
I don't generally buy from Amazon, but they mispriced like one of the snap figures where like you snap them out and clip them together. Like the Gunpla models.
Oh, okay.
They mispriced one of them, but it was baby Grogu. It was supposed to be like $60 and it was 8, so
Oh, dang.
I ordered that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Other than that, my life is a mess, as always. I don't even think I watched anything other than the specified movie.
I don't know.
My
I
neck
wanted
is a
to...
little better. That's good, at least.
Yeah.
That's good.
I wanted to catch up
It's not
on
great,
Dune
but it's
Prophecy, but I didn't have time this week.
Yeah.
Again,
Didn't see that coming. Ew.
got him. Again, we just mentioned this for patrons, but we just got done with the second part of our Game of the Year episode, and it was a 5-star runtime. So we're all pretty tired. So you gonna have to excuse us if we're a little zony, a little out of it. So
Is it full of enders? I hope it's full of enders.
man, if only.
I've never played those games, dude.
The second one's real good. You could skip the first one.
Wait, what game?
Zone of the Enders.
Zone of Enders.
Oh, yeah. See, I just fucking did it again. I zoned out because you said something, and then all I hear is Moon saying...
You heard Jetty, and you're like, wait, that's me, what?
Oh, shit.
Okay, are you guys ready to get started?
Yeah.
Sure, I guess. Oh.
I guess you should absolutely play Zone of Ender.
Yeah. The second one, don't worry about the first one.
The first one's fun and weird.
Yeah, it's fine.
And it's pretty short, too. So
That's true. All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your host, Buster, and joining me as always is Moonpear.
Hi.
And the Nymph.
Hello.
Quick production note here. It's our last full episode of 2024. As we do every year. Hooray! As we do every year, we're going to have 2 episodes coming up here over our break while we're gone. So it'll be Game of the Year Part 1 and Part 2 coming at you over the next 2 weeks. If you're a patron, or if you're on the public feed later, Critical Misses will keep going on, along with the Wayward Sons. We Rogue Like It will be taking a break for the break. So you're kind of week-to-week episodes, taking a little bit of a snoozer there. Also, let's mention here, patreon.com/E1M1.
Ones and numbers.
The Patreon open house still going on. We got 3 great episodes from this past year. That's free for everybody. You don't even need to be signed up for like the free tier or whatever. You just go to that website and go listen to some of our great stuff. If you like all of that stuff, that's what we give you literally every week, or in the Critical Misses production meeting between seasons. You can listen to an episode of The Outcast, which is where we're talking about all the non-video game stuff going on in our lives. Got a real good episode that we're out of it, so we got a real good episode this week. You can listen to, and get early access to Critical Misses and We Rogue Like It. You get exclusive access to Critical Misses production meeting, where Moon and I are. It's a fly on the wall sort of thing where you're listening to us plan the show and take left turns and do psychic damage to each other. And then you get exclusive access to Wayward Sons, which is the Supernatural TV show watchcast that Moon and Nymph are going through. All of that and more. Patreon.com/E1M1.
Ones and numbers.
All right, Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
I got 2 games to talk about this week. One is a transitional game, which I will talk about second. And then the only other game I have to talk about is my foot is off the gas.
Mm-hmm.
My foot is on the pedals. I'm going downhill in a roguelike fashion.
Uh-huh.
So my descenders into madness continues.
Nope, tried too hard.
Yeah, veto.
Oh yeah. literally after recording last week, I did the daily on the Descenders,
Mm-hmm.
and then got 6th place on the top 10 leaderboard.
Hey, nice.
Nice.
Also, I didn't know they had announced a sequel for that game.
I didn't either
Oh.
until you posted about it. What is it
I
called
literally
again?
put a post in the Discord. Descenders next,
Yes, Descenders next.
and it is snowboarding and mountain boarding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It looks
So I'm like,
it looks interesting.
okay. It looks good too, dude. Like, it looks
does.
real good.
Yeah.
Like, when you put the graphics mode on Descenders, it looks pretty solid. I turn that off because I want the 120 frame rate, please.
Mhm.
I'm getting good. I'm getting very good at
Mm.
Descenders again. During the week, I played and got all the way up to the 4th stage, got to the moon. No jokes. And collected all of the letters on the moon as well.
Uh-huh.
So that means
My
I
favorite
only
Tony
have
Hawk level.
one secret bonus level to get
Okay. What
to
is
get that
the
achievement.
theme of the bonus level?
So all 5 worlds have different themes. So
Mhm.
world number 1, it's the construction site where you have to parkour your way
Right.
trials way up to the top of the construction site. 2 is the mega ramp,
Mm-hmm.
where it's quite literally a mega ramp, and you have to do the mega ramp and get like 5,000 score on it. Number 3 is the ranch, which is like, it's a little ranch in the middle of nowhere, and it's just like, do these 3 tricks.
Okay.
So you just got to do the 3 tricks. I believe it's a 540 no-hander, a 180 knick-knack, and a front flip with Superman, maybe? Backflip Superman, possibly. I did those 3. And then the moon is the 4th level.
Mm-hmm.
And for that one, you have to collect the Descenders letters.
That's a long word, bro.
It's a real Tony Hawk level.
Yeah.
Because
Sheesh.
it has the moon gravity, it has all that kind of stuff, and it's literally collect these letters and hope you have the jump power needed to get to some of them.
Mm.
Because it also has moon gravity and it has all of that kind of stuff on it. It's a really fun level, especially when you like jump and you go like 5 times higher than you normally would
Yeah.
because of the gravity situation. I finally did it after 2 attempts. The first attempt I died on the last letter and wiped out and had to restart the run again. And then I did it, and I got it. So now I have 1 bonus level to do.
Okay.
And the 1 bonus level left to do is the toy room,
Oh no.
or the kids' room, I should say. And it's literally a kid's room, and you're the size of a little toy. Like,
Mhm.
you start on the top of a Hot Wheel track. Like, that
Oh,
tells
gosh.
you
Okay.
how big you are. And you have to collect 5 toys from the level. Now, I've only ever been to this level once,
Mhm.
and that was today.
Okay.
Because in order to get to that level, you have to hit the fire node and go through the fire ring on every single boss jump to get the secret level, World 5, the volcano. And then at the volcano, you then have to find the secret level in the volcano.
Oh jeez. Okay. Oof.
So it's about a 40-minute run to get an attempt to do the toy room,
Gotcha.
the kids' room. There's a reason why this achievement is super rare.
You're right.
So what you can do is you can, if I get to the volcano again, I'm probably going to do this way instead. I'm just going to hit the boss jump to complete it, because once you've completed the boss jump, you can load up a seed for that level, so you can practice on the level, essentially.
Oh, okay.
So I need to do that because some of the things they're expecting you to do in this are intense, we'll say. There is one where you have to basically do a really fast loop around the room to hit a ramp, to bunny hop off the ramp, hit a wall, bunny hop off the wall to collect the toy that's floating in midair.
Jeez. Okay.
It's not easy
No,
by
yeah.
any stretch of the imagination. Maka posted so for those who don't know, Maka 61, 51? I don't know. Maka is a achievement hunter. He is famous for doing a whole, if you've done an achievement guide and it's been really good, it's probably one of his.
Oh, okay.
his videos start off with a stack of games, and then I think it's his girlfriend laughing, and it's like Macca's guides. He did it, and he posted his clip of it on Twitter, and it's like, yeah, this is a 0.01% achievement.
Jeez.
So it's difficult to say the least, we'll say.
Mm.
And interspersed with all of that, I have been doing like the golden run attempts, where it's like, I'll just give it a go. Just give it a go.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
This one could be the run.
I got up to the fourth world and then fell in like the stupidest way possible, and I was so annoyed.
That's how it goes.
Because like, I can do it. I know I can do it now because I'm getting better. Because I'm not being stupid. I'm like, I don't need to go full speed all of the time.
Right.
Lesson learned. Don't go full speed all of the time. There we go. This game is beautiful, deadly hard, and I still love it and adore it so much. That being said, I hope I get it beat before Descenders Next comes out.
Right.
Because I'm really pumped about Descenders Next. Because, like an idiot, I searched for the trailer, and now my YouTube has been like, psst, hey, you want to see more of the Descenders Next stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like they have a release date yet, but
no,
it's
2025 is all that's been announced, and it's Game Pass day and date.
It's exciting. I'm very curious to see what this team is going to do with their next take at this, because Descenders is a really great game, but like very much like a passion project.
Be very off-putting.
Yeah, it's a very indie game, and I don't mean that negatively, but it has a lot of rough edges. So, with how successful the first game has been on Game Pass, I'm really curious to see like what lessons they learned from this game and kind of what their second take at this is going to be.
Yeah, and like one of the things I really like that they've done is like obviously the console's not so much, but the PC has a very big modding scene for this.
Oh, cool.
So like you can mod levels and load them and do all that kind of stuff. And I think I mentioned like, so there's a whole bunch of additional bike parks in there now. Like they've got 4 bike out, which is wipeout levels, and they've got like a pirate's treasure island kind of thing going on in one of the levels. There's a whole bunch of them. Turns out they are mods built by the community that got released into the console version.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, cool.
I like seeing
so
that.
like it says on like there's in the main hub there's like a board, and it says mods of the year. And it's like 2019 or whatever. And like the top 3 are all bike parks that you can go to in the console version.
That's cool.
So they've taken the mods and just put them into the game because they're really cool. So like it's impressive what they've done, and like apparently there is a hardcore Descenders community.
That's cool.
Man. I am good at Descenders. I will openly admit, I think I'm good at Descenders. There is a famous YouTuber / streamer who I will not mention, who plays Descenders and doesn't have a shade on my ability. And then I made the mistake of bumping into like a top 5 Descenders tricks video.
Oh no.
If you could just put that on while we're talking about this, Boston, please.
Let's see if I can find that, yeah.
It is some of the things that people can do in this game genuinely blow my mind. I don't understand how anybody has the dexterity to do some of the things that people do. Like at all. It's like how, why, what is
right,
going
like
on?
how'd you get to the point where you can do any of these things?
Yeah,
it's so zoomed out.
Because he's going so fast.
Yeah.
Like that's the crazy part of it. There's an incredible one of a guy doing it's a very thin like log path, and he is going backwards doing a stoppie, so the front wheelie, and hitting jumps and doing like flares and tail whips and landing on his front nose again.
Jeez.
And then jumping again, and then jumping again, and then jumping. some of the things people have done have been unreal.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't understand how these people are doing these things. And it's just like, okay, I'm good. I ain't that good.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a very good example, Boston.
Yeah, so the clip we're watching, for anyone that's listening, is basically somebody going along a wooden path, and every time they jump, they are either landing on their front wheel or back wheel alternately, and moving very quickly.
Yeah, and going to the next jump and the next jump and doing tricks and then flipping and rotating the wheels. It's just,
it's wild.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
We all have one of those games.
Yes. I mean, honestly, this was me when I was in high school, early college with Tony Hawk, just being like, yeah, I will thrash the leaderboard of like this game, and my local leaderboard at least.
I got nothing but time.
Yeah. Descenders is great. I love the Descenders. I'm so excited for Descenders next. Like, and to be honest, it doesn't look like it's going to be as roguish as this one is.
That's the big question, really.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, like, I'd like to see them lean more into the roguelike stuff, but if they veer away from that, I'd be really curious to see what that looks like.
Yep. Descenders is great. I love Descenders. That's all I've been playing, except for one thing.
Oh.
It's not Lethal Company week, which means it's Space Marine week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nimb, do you want to get the grievances out the way first?
Uh-oh.
It's not really a grievance. It was just something happened since the last time we played this game. And the difficulty got horrific for some reason.
Okay.
The first level, and we've played on this difficulty at least 2 levels, 1 or 2, since the last time we played it. So
when we first played the operations mode, we all played it. We died on the first level. Then we pretty much successfully made it through like 5 levels.
Yeah, something.
Then we
like
upped the difficulty and made it through like 2 more, and then we stopped it. We took a break, and then we come back,
and the game just kicked our teeth on for no rhyme or reason whatsoever. To the point that I know I voiced it out loud. I'm like, did they patch the difficulty or something?
Yeah.
Because I am constantly out of ammo. I am not taking things down at all. I'm running around with a Gatling gun. So, like, we would get swarmed all the time. And I can't even take out, like, the little guys without running out of ammo. Ammo crates, or ammunition in general, was just sparse. There was a whole section of the map where I was just running around punching things because I had nothing.
Jeez.
Which for Rob's character is like paradise because he just runs around with the hammer and just deals damage. But he was even saying it's like he didn't feel like he was hitting as hard as he was before, and we were just getting taken out way faster than normal. Moon, did you happen to find any information on that?
No.
Or do we just need to get good?
I didn't even bother looking, if I'm completely honest. Because it's just like, we tend it down to easy.
No shaming.
Baby mode. We tend it on to baby mode. Don't hurt me, daddy, I believe is the Wolfenstein tradition.
Oh, that's right.
And we beat the 2 levels, and it was a cakewalk.
Nice.
Yeah. Which we only went up 1 level, didn't we?
We did. So the thing I suspected is the fact that the 2 levels that we really got worked on were like additional ones added after the fact. Because we went and did the first level on the 2nd difficulty again, and while it was difficult, it wasn't
no problem. Yeah.
It wasn't super hard. So I'm very curious if it's just one of those things where it's completely not balanced because it was additional things. Because, by the time that those have come out and been released, especially the newest one, which was literally a week old, there are a bunch of people who've played every single map on every single difficulty.
Yeah, they're level
every
2 million.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that ain't us, bro.
I've only played this game for 400 hours, and it's baby easy now. It's like, oh my god.
Oh, It did run into the old problem, which when it was patched originally, they bumped the difficulty down a bit because they nerfed a bunch of stuff. But then, always balance upwards, guys. If you're making a game, always balance upwards, never balance down. Like it's so stupid to do so. But they did have a bunch of people who were like, I got the Heroes of Humanity achievement. You should stop anybody else from getting that cosmetic that I got for getting that achievement because I did it when it was hard. And it's just like, go away.
Yep.
Please.
But yeah, outside of that, though, I mean, it was still a great time, but it was just...
It's great.
That one
Chaos
level...
Marines are easy. Tyranids are nightmares.
Yeah, that one level, we were just barely hitting checkpoints before getting wiped out. And I think once we lowered the difficulty and went through, we found out that we were maybe a quarter of the way through the first area that was like 8 areas long.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And it was just non-stop wave after wave after wave. It just was not great. But now that we've sufficiently leveled up to level 11 or 12, wherever we're standing, I can hold like, I think it was like 570 count for ammo now.
Oh, wow.
Which I can only do 450, I think, when you start out. So that went up. We're all getting passives that help out each other for the group. Like, I got one that I think everyone takes 5% less range damage. And then the next big one that I get is it increases everybody's ammo capacity by 20%.
Oh, dang. All right.
So my Halo, which is the little shield that my dude procs that follows me around, that thing now hurts enemies whenever they touch it.
Ooh. So
that's real nice. And I know Rob and Moon had a bunch of other stuff that they were unlocking with their classes as well. So
yep, the upgrades are real. Like it's got a legitimate skill tree and all that kind of stuff. And apparently the second difficulty is recommended level 5, and we're level 10.
Oh,
and got worked.
Jeez. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The best part is, to progress, we need to go to the level above that to get the next grade of materials.
Yeah, because we've all finally hit with weapons. We no longer can get the green emblem or whatever that we were using has now turned purple. So we need to be higher levels to get that now to level up our weapons more.
Oh boy.
But whatever. It's still fun. It was just, it was super weird with the difficulty.
It spiked so hard.
Yeah, that is weird.
It was unreal. It was great though because like we got into this. So Rob is playing as I don't even know the name of it. Basically, he doesn't have a primary gun. He only has a pistol and a hammer. That's all he has. Does not have a primary weapon. But we started with these levels and like. I think like it gives you like 4 or 5 of the big guys, so the guys you have to basically Dark Souls combat for a while to like beat them effectively. And it's the first encounter of the level, and me and Nim come out of it with like a pip of health left out of like 4. We've got 1 pip each, and then just as we finish this fight, Rob finishes his fight too, and he's doing like the execution thing in the distance. And then I look, and he's got full health, and say, "I hate you so much, Rob."
Yeah, that's Space Marines too. It's still fun.
And it sounds great. It looks great. We saw it. We saw the Tyranids Titan. We killed the Tyranids Titan.
Oh my!
It's a great game. But that's all I've been playing. What else have you been playing, them?
Yeah, I've only got one more short thing, and that's just because I've been playing Call of Duty, the multiplayer. I almost have that shotgun. The event for you to gain experience to unlock stuff, I'm now on level 10, finally. I just have to finish earning the rest of 10, and then I will get the final item and the shotgun.
Okay.
This week, it's really just been, I've got like 15 minutes. Let me just play like a match or two real quick.
Right.
So I can do something. I did play Zombies. We did complete it one time. I'm thinking of moving on to the next map that there is available. I don't want to watch another video right now.
Yeah, to like get all the secrets and
Yeah.
what. Yeah.
So I did one more of the regular standard zombies squad. Also to get the, what do they call it? The bubblegum perk for the zombie mode, because they've got that event going on. I've got most of that completed as well. But the big thing was I decided that it is time for me to start stepping back into hardcore. And for anyone who doesn't play Call of Duty, hardcore
TTD got real short, real quick.
Yeah.
Hardcore is your UI is way slimmed down. You don't have anything really for a HUD. Weapons, all weapons across the board do way more damage. It's supposed to be quote unquote more realistic. Getting shot once by anything is going to hurt, so you can't get any more realistic than that. But the reason for this is because I am still trying to grind out my levels with the first shotgun. The first shotgun sucks horrifically. So it's like, all right, let me go on into hardcore. The shot should be a lot more powerful. I should be able to get my kills and my experience up with the shotgun.
Sure, right.
So that's what I slowly moved into. This is usually how it ends up going, because usually I only play hardcore exclusively, because I get tired of playing the regular matches with all the radars and stuff. And I was noticing that I wasn't even using the radar or anything anymore, unless someone had a UAV up or something, which you won't. Which you still get in hardcore when someone unlocks it, but it's like, okay, I'm not even using this crap anyway. I might as well just switch over.
Yeah.
I have been killed by 2 teammates because friendly fire is on.
Incredible.
I have only killed 1 teammate, and that was because there's an item in this game. It's towards like the very end. It may actually be the last level that you unlock it, and I don't remember what it's called, but it's a support item that when you use it, it changes your name to look like blue, so that way the enemy team, you look like you're on their team.
Okay.
And you can hear their communications, and you can talk with the enemy team now.
That's
wild. So you look friendly to both your actual team and the enemy team.
That's fun.
And this person was acting real squirrely, so I shot him. And then it turned out to be an actual teammate.
He's just a little awkward.
Yeah, and I'm like, oops, sorry.
Sorry, buddy.
He's just a little freak, and you killed him.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, you just get dumb shenanigans like that. People are a lot less grenade hoe, because you do get. I think they may have changed it now, but I noticed if you kill a teammate and then you kill another teammate, it automatically kills you as well.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I don't know how that works with your TDM or anything like that, but
it's trying to stop you from greasing, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I know they did it in the past. I just don't remember if it was after you did one or not. It's been forever. But I did, after I shot that guy by accident, I lobbed a grenade because we were playing hardpoint. The whole objective is your team is supposed to take over this one spot. This spot was colored red, which means enemies are currently inhabiting that space. I threw a grenade in there, and that must have been the point that one of my team members decided to also run in there. So I got killed because I killed a teammate, and then I get the little pop-up display that says killing friendlies is not allowed, or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, cool, that's still active.
Fair enough.
So yes, I'm just going back through it now. I'm basically just knocking out my dailies, which I can usually get done in a match or two, unless it's something real stupid that I just don't want to do, and then I just don't get the booster for that day, which is fine. But yeah, that's all I've been doing. I just jump into Call of Duty real quick, I kill some fools, and then I carry on with the rest of the crap that I have to do for the day.
Yeah.
One day I will get back to the campaign, because I really do want to play that. I just have not had the time to really sit down and play anything. So yeah, that's all I did this week.
I have a quick update here about Destiny 2. I want to give a shout out to Darkcool and White Rabbit from the community. We've been playing Destiny here a little bit here on Friday nights, and we did a Contest of Elders run. That's the bigger version, more difficult sort of version of Tomb of Elders, which is the episode 2 act 2's like seasonal activity. That was a lot of fun. That was not quite as hard as I was expecting it to be, but part of the I don't want to get too much into it, but part of how it works is you're doing multiple laps of this activity. So basically, like one combat encounter, a traversal, another combat encounter, one more traversal, and then a boss fight is one lap. And basically, you're trying to do, I think it's 4 laps. And the better you do, the more favor you get with the warden of the prison. And as the benefit of it is, like, at the end of it, you get better loot and the enemies get more challenging, but you can get through the activity faster the better and you do and the faster you get through the activity. So, like, it has matchmaking, and you can go in there and just do whatever you want with any sort of pug randos. But part of the reason I had waited so long to do it is because I wanted to run with a group of people I know are good, and we motored through that thing. Because half of the problem of this thing is you'll start an encounter, and about halfway through it, it will pop up something in the corner of the screen that says, hey, there's a bonus objective that the warden is giving you. You don't have to complete those, but if you do, you get through the tomb faster and you get better rewards. That's been a problem when you're just playing with randos, of people just being like, I don't want to kill stuff with Scorch Cannon, or like just not even seeing it, and you're losing out on loot and faster progress and stuff like that. So it was nice to play with a group of people that are able to say, all right, a challenge has popped up, let's take a break to go do it, like stop damaging the boss, stop killing enemies, we got to go do this thing. And a lot of them are easy, of like get precision and ability kills, or get special and heavy ammo final blows, or a bunch of stuff just spawned and we need to kill enemies with those, that sort of thing. So that was pretty fun. My only criticism of this activity is similar to a lot of other Destiny activities, of how far am I through the event? Like, how many loops loops have I done? What phase am I on? Like, am I on phase 3 of 5 of this lap? Like, I need to know. I'm sure I can count and be like, oh, I fought 2 bosses already, so I'm already on lap 3. I don't know that because I'm trying not to die. Like, Destiny is always historically very bad at that, and that this is no exception. So I really hope that at some point they get that kind of like overall, like we saw that with Onslaught 2, where it's like, cool, I'm building stuff, but what wave am I on? Like, I hadn't looked at it until there's a downtime. It just says build some stuff. So that's kind of a frustrating part. So, but that was fun. I'm not playing a lot of Destiny right now. Destiny 2 has a lot of problems right now, sort of above and beyond its normal problems, where it is horribly buggy and a lot of stuff just isn't working. So, but that's a tale for another week.
It's almost like laying off a bunch of your stuff isn't working.
Yeah, we talked about this a bunch in the Discord server, of this is proof positive why you need a healthy and experienced QA team for your game, because they are the ones that are holding your game or your product or your platform or whatever on their shoulders. So
yep.
it's I know that the word was out there that Bungie said that they were trying to outsource that stuff, but you really do need people that are playing the game, that know how the game, especially a game this big, is supposed to work. That way it can continue to work. But we'll see. I don't know. Other game I've been playing is Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop. was the majority of the stuff that I was playing this week. I really, really, really like this game. I have been having a blast with this. The majority of the stuff that I've been doing this week is trying the other mode. Frantic mode is the one that's timed. I don't remember the name of the other mode. My apologies. I meant to write that down. But that's really the mode you should start with, because it says that your jobs are going to be harder. I have not seen that really. What I am seeing is I have unlimited time to do any of these jobs, which is really great because I'm learning a bunch of job types right now that I haven't seen before. And there are a bunch of them that I'm just spending like half an hour per individual module on a ship for. And that's cool, but a lot of things is like, you're looking in the book, the grimoire, and it's like, okay, here's the section. It's like, circle with the dot in it, section 3. And it's like, okay, cool. And it's like 15 pages. It's like, oh, cool, good. This is going to be an intense job. But I don't have the time limit. I don't have that time pressure. So I can sit there and spend like, okay, the first thing says to look at this. All right, let's look at that. And like break down the entire thing from point to point. And part of what I've been struggling with is the game has been introducing an additional twist now on almost all of my jobs, that the machine's pancake can be either not there or not working correctly. And a pancake is a stack of modules that's essentially the like lowest level power for the thing. So if you don't have the pancake stack either there or correctly configured, and it's very clear if it's not there or if it's wrong, the whole thing doesn't work from like a foundational level. So that's been kind of a fun part of like, oh, okay, now I need to go figure out how to do this. And like pancakes have this thing of like, this machine needs this, it needs 4 pancakes and it has to have one of these types and one of these types. And it turns into a logic puzzle of like, okay, I need those 2, but how do this one needs to have the same thing next to it, but this one needs to have a different thing next to it, and this one has to have similar things next. So it's this kind of like juggling thing you're doing to try and figure out all of that stuff. And go ahead.
I did a quick search, so tell me if this sounds familiar. It
Sure.
sounds like there's a chill mode, a focused mode, and a frantic mode.
Okay, so frantic mode is the one that is timed, and chill mode is the one that is not timed, where you get 3... I haven't seen that third mode. I might unlock that later. But yeah, that's the other one. The only restriction on that is you'll only get 3 jobs per day. So I guess the difficulty there comes into, if it asks you to fix 7 modules, you really have to fix those 7 modules perfectly, because you're not going to be able to mess one up and just make it up by picking up extra jobs. Those don't exist. So like you really have to nail the jobs that you have. And I think that's kind of fun, because I can take a half an hour to do this thing, but and do it perfectly. But in the other mode, I'm not entirely sure I can do the AI module correctly in the however many minutes it does. I feel better because I'm making a ton of really good progress. Like, I have the tomfoolery module down pat. That is the module where you encode a cartridge with a level of a platformer, a platform video game, and to fix it, you have to clear the level of that platformer. And it's really simple. It's only like 3 screens. That's very simple stuff. Like, the VR module is the same. You have to align the crosshairs of the VR module on your character's eyes and then dive into the game to solve a problem that, once you solve the problem in the VR realm, then that fixes the machine. One of the more complicated ones is Rebreather. which I feel like I finally got down like today, where you have a breathable air generating module that has snails on it, and you have to manipulate the tiny little planet that the snails live on to give them the best environment to create breathable air for inside of the ship.
Wow.
So like that one, it's really interesting. Like this game is so rewarding because like even on paper, the rebreather sounds really intimidating. And when you start it, it's like, all right, if the color of the body of the snail looks like this, that means this, and the shell sparkles are this, that means this. Like, but then when you get down to it, you're like, oh, okay, well, it needs 2 snails, it needs 3 mushrooms, it needs 1 thing of food, and most of the time, that's going to fix the problem. And then you got to make sure it has the 2 canisters and the pump and the thing and the little squiggly like heat thing at the top. But like once you get that down, once you have enough experience with it, like all of that stuff is like, oh, I see the problem right away, no big deal. Like replace this, fix that, this is correct, I'm gonna toss that out and buy a new one. All right, you're done. Like bing bang boom. So like that's the stuff that feels so satisfying with this game, is just being able to identify these modules as soon as they come up and fixing them right away. The part that becomes a problem is when you start seeing new modules where you're like, oh, cool, this is a new module. This should be pretty easy. And then you open up the grimoire and it's like, yeah, here's the next 20 pages of instructions. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Okay, great. Let's try and figure out where the troubleshooting starts and try and figure out where the problem is. I did run into my first boss battle, which has been really fun because I posted a picture of it in Discord. It just a giant ship that only has one specific problem. It's a hologram, drops, and the camera zooms way out, and the yellow text at the bottom of the screen says, "This game has boss battles, yeah?" And I was like, oh, of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Sure. That one is intense because basically you're recreating the Uncle Chop, which is this like the pig hologram overlord that owns your shop, is it part of this like mega conglomerate. Their advertising ship landed and the hologram looks messed up, and you have to fix 3 individual modules that all align correctly to make this hologram look right. And it's an entire section of this book to make this hologram look correct. And I've done it successfully twice. I did it perfectly once, and the one time the green color value was incorrect. And I was just like, oh man, I got so close. But like, I should have looked if there was a demo of this out, because I feel like if you could play a demo of this, you can probably figure out pretty quickly whether or not this is for you. Like, do you like fiddly stuff? Do you like figuring out like a job simulator sort of thing, and trying to make these machines work? And if you're watching the video version, this machine doesn't have a pancake in it. That's why the meter is going haywire. It's one of the easiest things of saying like this thing isn't going to work until you fix a real low level thing.
At least on Steam, there is not a demo.
Okay. It
But
didn't
the game
seem like
is currently on sale for $17.99 right now.
That's a pretty
And the
good.
deluxe edition is $23.01.
That's not bad. Yeah, $17 is pretty good for this. I feel like you could probably. I really wish they had a demo out, because the tactile nature of it, like I talked about last week, that's a really big part of why I think this game is so satisfying. But I think you could watch a video and get a good impression of it, but getting hands-on and like really ratcheting this stuff while you're playing it, I think really does help. It's so good. I know Feyrer in the community has been playing it as well, and we're kind of sharing ideas and fixes and stuff like that. And I know she's playing on Switch, and so far has been working out really well. I'm playing it on PS5. I have no complaints. If I was to maybe go back, I would. Now that I'm getting deeper into the game, I maybe would want to play this on PC just for the mouse control. It works perfectly fine on PS5, but I think if I had the mouse, I could go faster, which sounds appealing. But again, no complaints. But I'm having a blast with this game. I think it's super cool, and if anything I've been talking about sounds interesting or sounds fun, I really think you should try it. If it's, I gotta say, if it sounds a lot like work, you're probably not going to enjoy it. I'll just put it there, because it can often feel a little bit like you are going to work, which is part of the appeal, I think. But I can understand if someone's like, yeah, I go do that like all the time at actual work. And yes, I can absolutely respect that. I totally understand that. So that's Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop. I'm still having a blast with it. I really, really like this game. I wish they were promoting it more, because I think it's a really cool, special little guy. I think it's a super fun game. But that's all I'm playing this week. Let's take a break.
Yup.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. We are fading fast here. So many people following the Shrimp and Grits on Twitter. Thanks.
I told my wife that when you posted that picture. It was like, look what you're failing to do, baby. It's like, we could have this for our cats.
That's right. They could be super mildly internet famous. People really love these goofy
I am
cats.
not home enough to take photos is the problem.
Yeah. Okay. Are you guys ready to do this next segment?
Probably.
Sure.
Well, let me just text my wife really quick. Do you want something? Question mark. Beep. Send. Okay. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of December 16th, 2024. I'm not tired at all. And the rest of the year. There's only one game, because the year is really done. Botany Manor comes out PS4 and PS5. We did play this on Game Club this year. It is a plant-focused, kind of open puzzle adventure thing. I think we likened it a lot to The Witness, if The Witness was about plants and not drawing mazes. So that game's cool. I like that game. So it's coming out on PS4 and PS5, coming up this upcoming week. So we do have one news story this week. I originally wasn't going to have us talk about this, talk about the TGAs, the Game Awards, because in the past couple of years, it hasn't been great, really.
And it hasn't handled real things that it has a platform to talk about, specifically. Right. Even if you ignore the situation in Gaza, which it should have spoken about 2 years ago, it did not talk last year about the layoffs.
Right, which they did talk about this year, the layoffs, at the very least, which I think they handled well. I don't think there's a perfect answer to that stuff, but I think at the very least, them handling that...
Acknowledge it.
Yeah, acknowledging it.
Like, treat it like Roman Reigns. Just acknowledge it.
Well, and they gave
That's a wrestling joke for all my friends.
Their first Game Changer Award to a very nice guy who has been helping those who have been laid off build a network to get back on their feet and get hired in another studio. So that was an incredibly touching thing that they gave him. That was a really great spotlight that they shone on him. And also, they did a really good job of not dumping a ton of awards. In years previous, the pre-show is like, anyways, here's 15 awards. We just dumped them. Giving people enough time on stage, giving people during the pre-show on stage time to actually accept the awards. I felt like that went way better. Again, it's not a perfect show. It is a marketing show. It's not as much of an awards show as it really should be, but I think it's trending in the right direction, which I think is pretty interesting and pretty great, especially after the last couple of years of just Keeley putting his head in the sand and being like, not my problem. Laos? That ain't me. So
yeah,
it's pretty nice to see that happen. Let's talk about a couple of the highlights here, because they're like any of these. There was like 75 games shown, but we're going to talk about some of the highlights here, starting with Shadow Labyrinth, which is a heck of a way to start off the show with a gritty...
No.
Uh-huh.
Read
It
your
says,
show notes.
You
as
wouldn't
to what
believe
this
me
is.
if I told you, because it is a gritty Pac-Man Metroidvania that seems to be inspired by the secret level episode of that show. I am really not sure what to think about this, because
The funny thing is, I was like, okay, what's this thing? You wouldn't believe me? What does this mean? And then I watched the trailer. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yep.
I wouldn't have.
Yeah, when the trailer came up, I was like, this looks kind of interesting. And then like, waka waka waka, and Pac-Man shows up, and I'm like, pardon? What are you?
Mm-hmm.
How are we? We're doing like evil Pac-Man.
Consume the
here?
darkness, bro.
Yeah, I'm not entirely. I'm curious in a way that reminds me of like Xbox 360 Bomberman Zero, where it's like, you're gonna make a dark Pac-Man? Okay, sure, let's check that out, I guess. So we'll see. I'm not entirely sure. Next up is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. This is .emu is publishing, and The Game Kitchen, who did Blasphemous, is developing this, coming out summer 2025. This looks really cool. This looks like a kind of interesting mishmash of the original kind of NES era Ninja Gaiden games, with the kind of character that they've been building up for some of the, like, the 360 stuff. And those Blasphemous games are supposed to be incredible. So if there's anybody that's going to make like a cool version of this, I think it's going to be them, and have incredible pixel art. So that was definitely a pleasant surprise of like, oh, you're going to make a Ninja Gaiden thing. And it's like, oh no, this thing, you got some talent behind this thing. This thing looks pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Elden Ring Night Rain was announced, a 3-player co-op standalone Elden Ring thing. This looks really interesting. I'm not like a From Software Soulsborne sort of dude, but I like them kind of extending this game into this kind of 3-player co-op run-based boss rush sort of thing. I like the idea of them not just making Elden Ring 2 and them just saying like, we're gonna make something for you and the friends. We're gonna do that. So I think that's cool. Of course, people are poo-pooing it a lot because it's not Elden Ring 2, which is fine.
Well, and they came out and said way beforehand, we are not even working on Elden Ring 2 or anything else right now. So don't worry about it.
Because I kind of initially wrote this off because I thought this was a DLC, because I just saw Elden Ring Night Rain. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't really. This isn't my jam. I don't even go here. But then to hear that there's this multiplayer co-op thing, I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like this. So we'll see. I don't think there's been a release window on this yet, but knowing From Software, it'll be probably sometime in 2025. So keep an eye on that one. Project Robot is the kind of code name for this next game. This is gonna be the
Go ahead.
the team behind Eco Shadow of the Colossus Last Guardian. This is gonna be their upcoming next game, where it's 35 seconds. 30 seconds.
Looks exactly like those games.
Yeah, in a way that I don't like those games. I'm like the only person that doesn't. Like, so like watching this is
if you would have told if you would have hidden the Ico Shadow of the Colossus stuff and not said it until the end, I would have figured it out just from the movement of the character in the video.
Yeah, like the character climbing up this giant robot that has the same like flow and kind of animation style as the other ones. I don't know, man. Like, I'm excited to see them making new stuff. I think that's cool. They definitely make very unique experiences. I'm curious to see what they're gonna show, but like I don't. This probably isn't for me. So, and also, like, there's literally no information in this trailer other than robots. We're making something new. So we'll see. Split Fiction is Hazelight Studios' new co-op game. They made It Takes Two. They're making a shockingly similar. Hey man, It Takes Two is one of the best-selling video games on the market right now by a huge margin. If you haven't,
the concept of this is incredible as well.
Yeah, I am definitely not going to be playing this game because none of this appeals to me. But I really like that they're going to make another one of these. And I like that they're doing the same thing again of you buy one copy of this and two people can play it. Because that's really great. I really need the studio to stop putting the studio head on stage because that actively pushes me away from literally any of their products. Anytime he decides to go up on stage and show his butt and swear a whole bunch because he thinks it's cute, I really need that to stop. That is an active detriment for me. But I'm glad that they're making another one of these. And I'm not in the market for this, but I know a lot of people loved It Takes Two quite a bit, so I'm glad that there's another one. We don't really get too many of these. I guess it's really only this studio making it. It's It Takes Two and whatever that other game they made was that No Way Out, A Way Out, something like that. Whatever their other one was.
A Way Out.
A Way Out, yeah. So we'll see. That's coming out in 2025, I think. I think he said something like March something 2025. So it's really not that far off. The Outer Worlds 2 had a trailer, a very 2-focused trailer. Thankfully, another funny Obsidian trailer that they're showing.
It's a really good trailer.
It's really good. I was happy to see that they showed a little bit of gameplay here, but not enough in here to say like what is significantly different from the first game. If there's not going to be a lot different from the first game, that's okay, because that first game was pretty fun anyway. But I think playing the Outer Worlds, the first one, I think almost everybody could kind of see where the game needed a little bit of extra love, and hopefully this kind of delivers on that. So
God, I hope but I hope they don't decide just like, oh yeah, this is now a 60-hour game. That tight 20 to 30 is fantastic.
Yeah, that would be, please do more of that. Borderlands 4 got a trailer here. Man, it's just it's Borderlands 4, man. Like I'm not coming here to be a hater, but I am continually concerned that Gearbox does, number one, does not get their own series, and number two, doesn't get why people hated 3.
No, but dude, here's the problem.
Yeah.
It sells. They're childish, immature, brash, BS humor sells.
It's not even... I don't even have a problem with that. My problem is... Look, 1 and 2 are good. Pre-sequel was good. the Tina DLC for 2 was really good. I heard people really liked the magic focused other one they did. I never get around to playing that, but people seem to really like that. It's just that 3 missed so much of the mark of that game, especially coming so long after 2. And nothing I have seen in 4's coverage so far has been like, yeah, man, it's Borderlands. What more do you want? It's like, well, I want better writing, and I want, like, more meaningful loot, and I want to not be on Pandora for the 50th time, and I don't want Handsome Jack to be back.
Wasn't 3 supposed to be when they were doing, like, the Pandora universe?
I don't know, because that game started on Pandora, and I was like, please, it's you and Claptrap on Pandora, and I was like, please, God, I cannot do this again. So, like...
The problem we have is this game will sell to the Madden crowd. This game will sell to the FIFA crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is the addition to that. You hear it all the time. Oh yeah, I only play Madden. You only play Madden and Borderlands. That's what you play.
And I think the thing, because I've been looking at this a lot with this to kind of get the temperature of the room. Borderlands 3 sold well. It has not been received well by players long term, because a lot of it is like, the villains suck, they will not shut up for long enough for me to play the game, the story is not nearly as interesting as it thinks it is, and doesn't get out of its way long enough for me to, like, get the loot and do the shooting. So it did sell well. I absolutely agree with that, but I think
it's like 15 million was the last count announced.
Okay, that's very good. But, like,
it's good, but it's a decline, because, like, Borderlands 1 was 6 million and 2 was 29.
Right. 2 is probably still selling at this point. Like, like, yeah. I think they have a lot of work to do, other than showing, like, a trailer where people have, like, ooh, it's a grappling hook. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but, like, you have more foundational problems here in Borderlands than I need to move faster. That's not the thing. Like, so. And
also, Halo was late to the grapple hook phenomenon, and that came out several years ago.
Right. I mean, that's the other thing too. Of, like, Borderlands has always been behind, like, trying to put too many memes in your game, and you're like 5 years behind. So, I mean, what sort of sad meme that's been overplayed is going to squeeze in here? I'm not sure. So I'm still interested. Like, I'm still going to keep an eye on it. I'm not writing it off completely, but I think for people like me, they have so much ground to cover to say, like, hey, this isn't the same game that you were sick of 10 years ago. So we'll see if I get there.
It's gonna be. They're gonna make an arrow to the knee joke. You know.
I know.
Will.
That's my concern, is, like, it's gonna be like memes that are 15 years old. Like, I don't know. I'm tired. Next game they showed here is The Witcher 4, which I forgot.
I think you mean the Woka 4.
I don't even want to cover it, man. I'm so tired. One interesting thing about the trailer is that they're showing it on an unannounced RTX card, which is what
which means the 5000 series is right around the corner, folks.
Probably, yeah. But I had also forgotten they had announced this a while ago, and this is, like, the first real thing they're showing of it.
This is also the first Witcher on Unreal, I believe, because they switched engines. They went to Unreal because they didn't want to use their own.
Yeah, that's right. Good point. As you probably heard, this is unsurprisingly starring Ciri. A
bunch of people who've never played the video games complain about the end of the third video game leading directly into the start of the fourth video game.
If you could either read any of the books or play The Witcher 3 and figure out that that's where it's going, big dummies.
Yeah, I was talking about it Friday night, because, like, everyone was like, well, you know, I can't believe they killed off Geralt or whatever, and I was talking to Rob and Moon, and I'm like, it's been a while since I've played 3. I'm pretty positive that's not what happened, right?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm
remember
like, okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
the Blood and Wine DLC ends with Geralt just like living his life,
Yeah.
alive. Like,
yeah, I remember him being well off, but
Yeah.
maybe
He's just-
I missed something.
he's like retiring, man.
Yeah,
like-
I know the books leave off where he's doing fine as well.
Yeah.
It's one of the few happy endings you get
Right.
in any part of the series.
And Ciri is super cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
her sequences in 3 were cool as hell. I'm super pumped to play as Ciri. I think, Nimp, you and I were talking on Discord that I think the thing that I share your concern with is all of 3 of the Witcher games launched rough. Cyberpunk is like infamously a super rough launch.
Yeah.
That has tempered a lot of my kind of day one expectations or excitements for Witcher 4. Because, like, sure, you've moved to Unreal, and that's great. But
You kind of wasted a lot of good faith.
yeah, I'm, like, really worried about a really rough launch for this game.
Your last product, I couldn't beat the game until almost a year after it released.
Right.
Mhm.
It got
Pre-launch rough,
delisted
too.
Yeah.
on Sony's platform because it was so broken.
People forget that 3 was rough too.
Yep.
3 was real rough. when it
1
launched.
was famously rough. Like, they were working on that game
Mhm.
for... They put out a second version of 1 to fix it. Like,
Yeah.
they've been doing this their entire, like, life cycle of the studio. Like, this is how that goes, man.
Now, a year after this game is released, assuming there's not something weird going on in this game, I am really
will.
looking forward to playing.
Yeah.
I'll wish list it and buy it when it's on sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, to me, like, I'm really excited about it because I really liked Witcher 3 quite a bit. I haven't gotten around to playing Cyberpunk yet as much as I really want to. But, like, if this thing launches in a really good spot, I'm okay to buy it pretty early and play it because Witcher 3 is a really great game. And more of that with a really cool main character. Yeah, I will go play that. That sounds cool.
I'm not gonna lie though. Until I saw one of the swords, though, I thought this was gonna be the official release announcement for the Witcher remake.
Oh yeah, because they're remaking the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's Witcher 4. I don't think we have a release window for this yet.
No.
It still seems like it's a ways off, so we'll see. RGG has announced 2 new projects. That's the Yakuza Like a Dragon
Yeah,
studios.
because they haven't got enough Yakuzas on their plate.
Yeah, so they decided, well, we're just going to work on the new Virtua Fighter. So
Yeah, why not?
we've got that. We're going to be making that. We made one of those before, so let's make another game. And then, we're not also making another Yakuza Like a Dragon game. Why don't we just start another one with Project Century?
Another open world game.
Yeah, another
Yeah.
open world game taking place in Japan in 1915.
This is where you secretly find out it's a Like a Dragon game, like after it gets like a real name.
Yeah, they have done this before with, like, what is it? Yakuza Ishin? I think it was the one where it was like
That period piece.
yeah, the period
Yeah.
piece they've done, and then they had that period piece that was also a third person shooter, which is a
The
different-
undead
Mhm.
one.
yeah, which is
Yes.
another situation completely. So I love these games. So you tell me you're making another one of these, and I'm like, yeah, cool, man. That sounds great. And it's like, it's a 1915.
It
It's like,
looks
stop
it
digging.
looks really cool.
You've already
Like,
sold me. Yeah.
Industrial Revolution mixed with traditional like Japanese or Chinese culture. Like, yes,
Mhm.
please.
Yeah, it looks super. And this RGG just makes really great games. Like, and they're saying, hey, we're gonna make more of them. It's like, yep, it's cool. Let me know where to sign up. I'll play this thing too. Great. So,
Is this secretly why they renamed the Yakuza franchise to Like a Dragon? Is this a reboot of the Yakuza franchise?
probably not. There is a reason for that, but it's a spoiler. So there is a storyline reason for that, but I can't get it.
Oh, I know.
And why that is. Yeah. One of the big announcements of the night was Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, which turns out to be Naughty Dog's next game. I laughed a lot, and my wife laughed too, because earlier in the show they announced the Last of Us Part 2 Remastered gets a release on PC, and I was like, okay, cool, that's the one you're showing this time? Great, yeah, great, let's remaster it again. You can do it again next year? Sure, great. But to see them come with an actual brand new game here with a heck of a style here. Very, they're saying like Akira, Cowboy Bebop, that kind of space anime is a huge influence here. That definitely makes sense. And it's also nice to see them just doing something different that isn't The Last of Us. Because they're a studio that has done cool stuff, and I would like for them to make things that aren't The Last of Us.
This will be their first one, like, sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so.
If you don't count The Last of Us as sci-fi.
Right.
No, that's...
Or
Uncharted
genres is sci-fi also, but like in a different kind of weird way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, there's not a lot here in the announcement. A lot of it is just kind of like set dressing and vibes and mood. But
it's like the intro to the game, essentially.
Yeah, yeah, that very much seems. Oh, Musim in chat says Jak and Daxter. Yeah, Jak and Daxter is probably the most sci-fi thing that they've done. Out of the that's the most sci-fi thing that they've done. It's not 100% like cyberpunk, but I think that's the closest they've gotten.
True.
But this is very much the like hard sci-fi FTL sort of thing. Like that's the thing they're working with here. So
just let me customize the interior of the ship. That's all I want.
Yeah, like I don't even care about like character customization at this point. I want to put like cool doodads and baubles on my ship. And
give me an Elite Dangerous dashboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did announce that Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are scoring this game, which is interesting. This will be the first game that the two of them have scored. Trent by himself scored Quake sort of famously back in the day. But that'll be... It's also not... Unlike Tron Ares, it's not credited to Nine Inch Nails. It's credited to the two of them, who are also Nine Inch Nails, which isn't at all confusing.
Nope.
But interesting. Interesting to see a whole bunch of stuff. That game looks cool. I'm excited to see what they're going to do next that isn't a game series I don't like, which is The Last of Us. So
if it really turns out to be Akira and Cowboy Bebop, that's all I want.
Yeah, that sounds cool as hell.
Yeah.
I will say the one trailer that you didn't mention that I happened to catch is Dispatch or Dispatching.
Dispatch. I have it right here. Yes.
That looks really sick, dude.
Yeah, this like well animated looking story thing, like a superhero dispatcher.
It looks like this is the police mixed with ridiculously good animation.
Mm-hmm. I meant to go look at what that studio's been working on. It's been a long time since This Is the Police 2. I keep meaning to go look at what they're working on. But yeah, Dispatch looks pretty cool.
Insanely good.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like when you first looked at the Tales from the Borderlands, and it's just like, that looks incredibly smooth, cool. Like that's that sort of thing of like, wow, this looks really good. Wow. So yeah, Dispatch is really cool. There's also an Onimusha game got announced, Onimusha Way of the Sword, which is the first Onimusha game in 20 years.
No genre, so I'm disappointed.
Yeah, well,
shut up.
We'll see. Maybe he's an unlockable skin. And then Hideaki Kamiya's new studio. Remember, he founded Clover for Capcom way back in the day and did Okami. His new studio, Clovers, is now working on the Okami sequel, which is right now just called Okami Sequel and just has a logo. So that's pretty exciting. That's a game I really need to finish at some point, is Okami, because I like that game. That game's super
I need to
cool.
start it still.
Yeah, that game looks
It's only
super
been
cool.
released on every console I've ever owned.
That's right. Yeah, you can play it on
It's
literally
constantly
anything.
on sale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Boston, would you like an update on what Weappy Studios is doing?
Oh yeah. Is that this is the police guys? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh no.
There's a demo out right now for Hollywood Animal, which
Hollywood
looks like it's
Animal.
this is the police but early Hollywood, and you have to
Ooh.
like make movies and cast them and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Well, I'm in trouble, Moon, because that sounds pretty cool.
The screenshots here look sick as hell, dude. It's got like
Hollywood-
this is the police vibes.
Oh, with like a city builder. Oh no. My weaknesses. Man, all right.
Take the helm of a major Hollywood studio at the dawn of sound cinema.
Yeah, that sounds cool as hell, man. All right. Yep, gonna check that out. Curses. All right. Well, last couple of notes here. Want to give a big shout out to the Game Awards Orchestra, who did an incredible job the entire night. The Game of the Year medley they did is really great. The version they did of the Balatro song is so good. I am impressed, number one, that they managed to have that work, but also it sounded really great. Also, the flute guy was double fisting flutes at one point. It's really great. He's great. And then Game of the Year was Astrobot, which is a great choice. I think that's not only because I like that game, but also I think that's a cool choice for Game of the Year. I also like to see a Sony studio showing out Nintendo and then very quickly running off the stage, being like, "I love you, Nintendo." Just like, I didn't say it. Don't worry about it. Bye. And then a big shout out to Waldorfer Statler for being I think the foil that Keeley needed throughout the entire show, of just giving him the business. The quote of the night was, "Hey, look, there's Kojima. He's good friends with Keeley." And then the other one goes, "Yeah, does Kojima know that?" And it cuts to Kojima just giving a death glare of like, "Excuse me?"
Dude, they went hard on Jeff throughout the night.
The first joke they had was, "Man, look at all the empty seats in this place. That's..." And the other one says, "Yeah, that's pretty surprising because I've always heard that Keeley's a sellout." It's just like, sheesh. But like, that's the sort of thing I think that this show needs, is a little bit of levity, because Keeley always comes out and is like, "I have a trailer from a studio that's going to literally explode your mind. It's the best video game on the face of the planet in history of any work." And he shows like a 30-second thing for like a iPhone gotcha game. And he's like, "Fantastic, brilliant, amazing. Look at this." And it's just like, bro, yes, love video games and love the art form. Just pump the brakes a little bit. Like, just bring it down a little bit. So, but like we said, interesting show this year. Had a lot of cool stuff. I'm not here to say it isn't a marketing thing, because it really is, but I feel like
there's so many commercials and just fluff in that show.
Yeah, it's
the
still...
fact that it went on to 11 p.m. Eastern, and I'm like, can we just
It's
stop?
still too long. Like, for the amount of stuff that they have in there, I still think it's a little too long. But
yeah,
I get it. But like, let's be a little cool. All right, we've been recording all day, so we are going to be done with this episode, which means also we're done for the year. Don't forget, the next 2 episodes that come out are Game of the Year celebration. Please go check those out. Those turned out really great. I mean, they will in the future. Cough, cough, cough. So go check those out. And please visit us.
Keep the facade.
Keep it. Lock it down. TVGP.tv is everywhere you can find and follow us on the right hand side of the page. All of that stuff. Patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers or something. I don't know. It's the end of the year.
That's right. $5 tier is the recommended one. That gets you everything. Anything above and beyond that is recommended. Please share us on social media. Like, comment, subscribe. Rate the show wherever you can. You kind of know how it goes at this point. Also, I'm very tired. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
We.
Bye.
Okay. Nimp, what are your titles?
So, I wrote down a couple. And then Boston said something that just wrecked me for a little bit.
I get one every once in a while.
And that was, that's a long word, bro.
I feel like that's my energy today of like, that's a long word, bro. Just, you gotta find a shorter one. A $5 word, not a $20 one.
Yeah, and then I stopped taking titles.
I appreciate that. I'll write that down. All right, Moon, what do you have?
I don't know. What's the other ones?
No, that was it.
I started with Showstopper.
Okay. Off the gas, onto the pedals. Don't hurt me, daddy. That ain't me. TDD got real short. He's just a little awkward. Enough Yakuzas on their plate and keep the facade.
I have my foot is on the pedals. My descenders into madness. I'm getting good, and that's a long word, bro.
I mean, we know what it is.
I'll just circle. That's a long word, bro. Oh, this show.
I'm ready.
Oh, man. I can't believe that This Is the Police Studios making another game.
It looks really good, dude.
Those
like,
games
the
are
design looks incredible.
And I know it's going to break my heart. Just like the two This Is the Police games.
So
broke my heart.
I scrolled through the screenshots and stuff on the Steam page, and it's got the same animated like cutscene style from 2 as well, and it's just like
the problems. Oh man.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 895 for December 16th, 2024. That's a long word, bro.
Me all sleepy.
I hope you have a happy holiday, a good new year, and we'll see you next year.
All right. Thank you, Torek. Torek says, woo, made it for the... Aw, man. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Really appreciate it. I hope everybody enjoys the Game of the Year episodes that we got coming up over the next 2 weeks. I think they're really great.
That we will be recording.
Yeah, yes, that will be coming up over the next couple weeks. I think they turn out great. Wink. So check those out. I hope everybody has a great break. We'll see you back in the new year. Happy holidays.